personally, I wouldn't say that we deal too much in that. The way I look at it, from the way I write, I think it's more to do with sort of personal relations and the way people can cope with certain things, within that. I tend to be more interested in people and how they look at things in a different way. Sort of different people can cope with certain problems and how they can adapt and such like. I don't like grouping things together more. I prefer to think of everyone as an individual, really. I can see different things cropping up in sort of different people's lives or whatever that are totally different from other people. I wouldn't like to sort of make a statement on, sort of a vast subject.
The Sex Pistols came out, and their attitude and the noise, which was horrendous. But on that night, you felt like you were party to something unique, something revolutionary. I wanted to tell the world to fuck off, just like Johnny Rotten. And Bernard and I formed a group on the spot, and we walked out as musicians.
I suppose Barney and I were willing young students for Ian Curtis's vast musical knowledge, whether he was just bullshitting. We didn't care. We just soaked it up like a pair of sponges, you know. Steve was always the weird one. Steve was very middle class. He was very affluent compared to us three. You know, he had a car. He worked for his dad. I couldn't believe it when I got to his house and he had a fucking goldfish pond in the drive. You know, when we went up to do Ideal for Living, we were folding the sleeves for Ideal for Living in his house, and I'd never seen anything that big in all my life, you know. So Steve was always a little bit different, but once you heard him drum along, it was wow.
When we started, we'd play it all really. Bernard, the guitarist, had been playing maybe for a few months, and Peter, the bass player, just started straight from scratch. I'd never been in a group before. I think in the beginning it was just something we wanted to do, you know, just to get up there and play. But after about 6 months or so, we started looking at the music and what we wanted to say more seriously.
3, 5, 0, 1, 2, 5, go! I was there in the backstage when this light came around. I grew up not a changeling, so when the first time around, I could see all the weakness, I could pick all the faults, but I could see all the fake tests, just a stick in your throat. P1G, P1G, P1G.
When we started working together, it just seemed really easy. And he was very positive about what you were doing, very appreciative. He was very, very good at making you feel good. He was a real people pleaser, I suppose, in that aspect. He was really good at it. I mean, he's the most generous lead singer I've ever met. I've never met a lead singer that wanted you to sing. Never. No, you sing. You could sing this one. Fucking hell, you know, you're the best vocalist I've ever heard in my life. Why do you want me to sing it? You know, you're like, fucking hell, mate, your lyrics are sublime. What the fuck do you want me to write one for? You know, I mean, it was like, he was so good. It was like, he always wanted you to sing, but he was so good. And, you know, all that thing about people say, did you realise the lyrics? Did you know what the lyrics were? I didn't have to know what the lyrics were, because all I had to do was look at him, and I knew he fucking meant it, whatever they were.
So we tend to do what we want, really. We play the music we want to play, and we play the places we want to play. I'd hate to be on the usual record company where it's sort of, you get an album out, you do a tour, you know, you do all the Odeons and the this, that and the others. You just couldn't do that at all. So I had experience of that, supporting the Buzzcocks. It was really soul destroying, you know.
Some other's womb, just like any other room. Made a promise for a new life, made a victim out of your life. When your time's on the door and you grip to the floor and you feel you can touch, all the noise is too much and the seas that are sown are no longer your own. Just a minor operation, just was a final ultimatum. 1,000 words are spoken loud. Reach the doctor through the crowd. When you walk down the street and the sound not so sweet. I knew that she could hide. Maybe go for a ride to some peep show arcade where the features are paid. A nightmare situation, infiltrate imagination. Smacks of past who it was. By the wall with broken laws. The leader's a man, born out of your frustration. The leader's a man, just a strange infatuation.
Now we're going to talk about the music we hear on the radio, or rather the music we don't hear on the radio.
When they finally write the real book on rock and roll, when all the dust settles and the truth is finally told, when they get it right, one of the bands at the top of the mountain, along with all of your David Bowies and Rolling Stones, will be Joy Division, because they are easily as great as any band that has ever existed. And their first album, Unknown Pleasures, is an absolute masterpiece. I cannot recommend this record to you more strongly. It is the introduction to what will be your long and very happy relationship with Joy Division's music. Their second and final full studio album, Closer, is also a masterpiece, but it's Unknown Pleasures that is going to grab you first. Every aspect of it is pure genius. From Martin Hannett's production to the band themselves to Ian Curtis's amazing voice and lyrics, it is a stunning debut album, as good as any debut album of any band that has ever existed. And why do I make such bold claims? Because, my fellow analog lover, I'm right about that. Joy Division is one of the greatest bands ever, and Unknown Pleasures is the proof.
A new Manchester band, they're called Joy Division. They were called Warsaw once, but Joy Division has, I think, a nicer ring to it. And we hope that we're launching them on a real joyride, as we have before with many others. Haven't we, Tony? Yes.
Seeing as how this is the programme which previously brought you first television appearances from everything from the Beatles to the Buzzcocks, would you like to keep our hand in and keep you informed of the most interesting new sounds in the Northwest? This, Joy Division, is the most interesting new sound we've come across in the last 6 months. They're a Manchester band, with the exception of the guitarist, who comes from Salford. Very important difference. They're called Joy Division. This number is Shadow Play.
To the center of the city where our roads meet, waiting for you. To the depths of the ocean where all hope sank, searching for you. Moving through the silence without motion, waiting for you. In a room with no window in the corner, I found truth. Shadow play, acting out your own death, knowing no more. See assassins all grouped and four lines dancing on the floor. And with cold steel odor on their bodies, made a move to connect. I could only stare in disbelief as the crowds all left.
It was like someone else made Unknown Pleasures, and we just stuck our names on it.
The songwriting process in Joy Division was pretty quick. We only practiced for, I think it was 2 hours on a Wednesday night and 3 hours on a Sunday, because it was all we could afford. We'd get the ideas together. Ian would work on the lyrics at home, just remembering the track, because we couldn't record them. Insane to think you couldn't record it. That is nuts now.
Sensations make me feel the pleasures of a normal man. These sensations spare the insults, leave them for another day. I've got the spirit, lose the feeling, take the shock away. 10th floor down the back stairs into no man's land. Lights are flashing, cars are crashing, getting frequent now. I've got the spirit, lose the feeling, let it out somehow.
Considering we'd had no experience whatsoever, it was a startling experience, you know. I mean, the thing that has to be borne in mind is that we'd written the songs. Martin Hannett might have gave it that wonderful icing on the cake, but the songs had been written. And then, interestingly, literally on the 5th day before he started mixing, he said, "You've not got enough tracks." He said, "I want you to do 2 more tracks." And we were like, whoa. And me and Steve, we went in and we actually wrote 2 more tracks, From Safety to Where and Colony.
Basically, we want to play and enjoy what we like playing. I think when we start doing that, I think, well, that'll be time to pack it in.
When I listen to Unknown Pleasures now, I'm amazed. I'm amazed that we did it. Because we were so young and so fucking stupid. That I'm amazed that we did it. I can't believe it. Can't believe it. It belies your age.
you know, as a 22-year-old kid on your way down that road that you so wanted to go down. I don't think he wanted to say to me, Barney and Steve, you know what, I'm too ill to do this. I need to stop.
And coming back from rehearsals one day, and we took a shortcut through the graveyard. And I said to him, you know, he said, you're lucky. I said, your name could be on one of those stones if you'd have succeeded the other week. And he was like, yeah, right, yeah. You know, no sort of connection in the response. And he made his mind up, I think.
Making of Closer, Ian's illness was degenerative, and it was getting worse. The big problem with Ian was that he never wanted to upset you. He was very empathic to other people. He would go out of his way to make sure that you felt all right about what he was suffering. He really did. We worked through the album. It was a difficult time. I mean, you know, it's been well documented, his relationship with Anik, who was at the session, and it becomes a bit of a Yoko Ono moment, as we call them now. You know, so it cast a different feel over the proceedings, shall we say. On Unknown Pleasures, it was just us. But now you had Anik, you also had Ian's illness that you were working round. And it was a difficult thing. You know, Martin Hannett devoted himself to Ian to do the lyrics. And all the music was really done separately. So, yeah, I mean, you know, suicide of a very close friend, family member always leaves you with the guilt. And that's the beauty of suicide, isn't it? It's not them that are worrying afterwards. It's everybody else about who, when, or why, or did I do enough, etc., etc. You know, I mean, I've had enough of that in my life to realise that people that are left behind are the ones that suffer more, shall we say.